So the first area that we're going to work on is strength training. So we want to make sure that we're strengthening all parts of your body, whether it be up top or down in your legs as well. This is going to make your daily life a little bit easier for going upstairs, carrying groceries, just doing anything around the house or that you do in your daily activities as well. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is the squat. It's a great exercise to hit all of your lower body. All right, so what I want you to do is we're going to use the chair here, and notice that we're against the couch as well. This is going to give you a little bit of stability to work off of if you need a little help getting up as well. So it's going to be shoulder width apart with your feet, okay? And now what I want you to do is you're just going to push those hips back, keep a nice straight back, and come up. Notice he's using that couch to help him get through the motion a little bit, which is completely fine. Good. So on this next one, Carlos, I'm going to take your chair away, all right? So this is as you're getting a little bit stronger, and you don't need the help of that chair anymore, but you're still going to use the couch. So he's using his full body weight, moving all the way through, keeping that flat back, and going down. Give me one more. Good. So the more that you do this, the easier it's going to get, the stronger your legs are going to get. So as you get better at it, you can back away from the couch and start to get even a little bit stronger as well. So now he's going to go through that full body weight squat, coming down and pushing straight up. Keeping his weight in his heels, looking straight ahead. That's exactly what we want. Give me this last one. Perfect. So the more you do it, the stronger your legs are going to get. So make sure you're challenging yourself, whether it's using the chair or the couch or just wide open space. Because the better it is, the more you can do, and then make sure you're moving to the next level as well. All right, so our next exercise we're going to use is the push-up. All right, so what we're going to start out on is a nice big wall. So this is a perfect area for you in the house. All right, and the reason we're going to start for the wall is it's the easiest because you're not going to be using as much body weight for the push-up. All right, so why don't you go ahead and step up to the wall for me and put both hands shoulder width apart. Good. And then back your feet out just a little bit more. So what we want is a nice flat back here looking straight at the wall. So slowly go ahead and lower yourself towards the wall. Good. And back out. Awesome. Give me one more. So he's doing exactly what we want him to do, really keeping his body straight. What we don't want him to do is going to be this. So go ahead and drop those hips and go down. So as you can see, there's a little bit of a swell in his back. His hips are moving forward and backward as he moves through the motion. That's not what we're looking for. What we do want is having a nice rigid body, straight up and down, and he's moving as a whole entire unit there. Good. So doing against the wall would be the easiest version of this, but as you get stronger, you can make sure that you incorporate a little bit other activities. So you can move from a higher place on the wall to maybe a couch or a table, and eventually down to the floor. So go ahead and go for it on the couch, Carlos. So notice he's going to be a little bit closer to the floor, but still the same thing. Keep that body in a nice straight line, lowering himself down, and then coming back up. It's really important that he challenges himself and goes where he needs to be so he's getting the true activity out of it. Good. Awesome job, Carlos. So like I said, as I just said, make sure you're challenging yourself. Don't choose the one that's too easy, but make sure you're getting through, 10 to 12 repetitions of it. You really want to build up that strength the more that you do it. And those look great, Carlos. Awesome job. All right, so the next exercise we're going to do is going to be a plank. A lot of people think it's just for the core and getting abs, but really it's not. It's for a full body exercise, and it'll really help out with increasing your posture and increasing your everyday life and be able to open up to the world, okay? So what we're going to want to do, you're going to want to be on a nice, comfortable, soft area, preferably on a carpet or something of that sort. And what we're going to do, you're going to be laying all the way down on the ground, Carlos, and I'm going to show you two different versions. We're going to start with the easier version and then go from there, okay? So the first one, Carlos is just going to be on his knees, okay? And on his elbows. And what he wants to do is keep a nice flat position. Notice he's staying off the ground. If I tighten up his shirt here, you notice there's a lot of room between him and the ground. And you're just keeping a nice flat back, looking straight ahead, usually at his hands so that he stays in a nice neutral position, okay? To make it a little bit harder, he can come up on his toes and raise his whole entire body off the floor. Now notice his shoulders, his hips, and his ankles are all in line, staying nice and flat, just like we were during that push-up. So it's very important to stay in a nice straight line. And I want you trying to hold this for 30 seconds at a time. If you can't hold it at 30 seconds at a time, feel free to start with 5 or 10 seconds and slowly build on. More and more you do this, the longer you'll be able to hold that plank. And hopefully you can get up to 30 seconds or even a minute. Good. So now we've gotten through all the exercise and strength portion. Let's go ahead and recap what they are again. So let's use the bench for our squats, okay? So facing away, shoulder width apart. Go ahead and go through that squat for me. So he's going to be going down to the bench and coming right back up. Make sure you're keeping that chest high and a nice flat back. Good. And last one. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into the push-ups, okay? So he's gonna go ahead and turn around. He can either use the bench or the table. Depending on where you are with your push-ups, you're gonna be moving through it to challenge yourself. So it's a nice flat back, going all the way down, nice and controlled, and pushing it up. And I wanna show you guys one last time. What we don't wanna have is we don't wanna have his hips dropping and having a little sway in his back, okay? That's what we don't want. What we do want is having a nice flat back, coming straight down, and then right back up. Good. All right, Carlos, so for our last one, let's go ahead and get on the floor for that plank. So remember, you can either be on your knees or on your toes, and you can either be on your elbows or on your hands for this. But it's gonna be a nice flat line with his body. He's looking just a few inches in front of his hands, keep his head straight ahead, and he's gonna hold it for as long as he can. You may start at maybe 10 or 15 seconds, but the more you do, the stronger your core is gonna be, and you can build up to it. Hop up there. All right, so what I want you guys to do is try and incorporate these into your everyday life. So as I was saying, just with the planks, you may start out with lower time or less reps with the push-ups or the squats, but do them more, your body's gonna get stronger, and make sure you're challenging yourself, whether you use a high level push-up or down towards the ground. The more you do it, the better it's gonna be for yourself. Next, we're going to move on to cardio. Cardio is any activity that you can keep going for a long time. It's usually when your heart rate starts to get elevated and you start to sweat and breathe hard. That's when you know that you're in the good working zone to get that heart working. So some benefits of cardio are that it decreases the chance of having heart disease, it increases your energy levels, you usually can sleep better, and it'll lower the amount of stress that you feel as well, okay? So what we're gonna be doing with these next exercises are, I want you to perform for at least 15 to 20 minutes total. So you can do any variety of these and any combination of these, just make sure you're getting a total of 15 to 20 minutes of cardio throughout the day, and that's the best part about it. It doesn't have to be all at one time, you can move it throughout the day. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to be going into is what we call shadow boxing. It's a great activity. You can do it while sitting at any chair, even on the couch while you're watching TV. Okay, so while you're sitting here, I want you to just go ahead and extend your arm all the way out and all the way back. Good. And the other one? Perfect. Now what you're going to be doing is you're going to be going as fast as you can for 30 seconds at a time. So for about 10 seconds, show me how fast you can go. Good. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Continually moving through. He's going to do this for 30 seconds at a time and then take a rest. All right, I'll give you a rest there, Carlos. So what I want you to do is perform that 3 to 5 times and really get that heart rate elevated. Good. All right, the next exercise we're going to be doing is leg kicks. It's kind of similar to what we just did with the shadow boxing, but now we're going to use it on our legs. So what I want you to do, extend your right leg, point that toe towards the ceiling. Good. And now your left leg. Perfect. Now we're going to speed it up a little bit. I want you to try and get through this as fast as you can. Good. Full extension at the top and all the way down. He's going to be doing this for 30 seconds at a time. And depending on what you can handle, I want you to do this between 3 and 5 different times. Really get that heart rate risen up, okay? Good. And take a break. All right, Carlos, so the final exercise that we're going to be doing is jumping jack, okay? It's a great piece to do. It's full body. So to get into a jumping jack, what I want you to do is we're going to start out breaking it down with just your legs at first. So I want you to jump out, shoulder width apart, and then bring them back in. Good. Do that again for me. Perfect. And one more time. All right, so now what we want to do is whenever the legs go out, your arms are going to go over your head, okay? So it's going to be out, in. All right, go ahead and show me that. Perfect. Keeping those arms nice and bent as they go over your head, landing softly every time that you do, and then coming back in. Perfect. So you'd want to perform these about 15 times for each repetition that you're doing. So you give me 15, you can take a break, and then move on to your next exercise at that point. All right, so now I want to challenge you guys. We're going to go over the 3 exercises that we just showed you, but but I want you to perform these not just once a day, not just once a week. I want you to perform these at least 3 times a week, all right? So let's show them those exercises. First, we have the jumping jack. So you're gonna be jumping out with your hands overhead and back together. Good. You're gonna be doing these about 30 times, all right? Perfect. Next, we're gonna move into that seated exercise that we had. So sitting down on anything, a bench, a chair. Let's go right into those fist pumps. Good, shadow boxing right out in front, as fast as he can. He's moving through these. Perfect. Your heart rate's getting a little bit up there. All right, next we're gonna go into those leg exercises. So bringing them up, good. Kicking as fast as you can, getting that full extension. You breathing a little heavy? Yeah. All right, I'll let you take a break. So I know it's going to be busy, but try and incorporate these exercises when you can, whether you're sitting down on the couch or whether you're just out doing your regular day. 15 minutes a day really adds up. So try and shoot for at least 15, but 20 minutes is even better. So next we're going to be moving into flexibility. Flexibility is great because it can help alleviate strain that you feel maybe on the back side of your legs, in your lower back area, and in your shoulders as well. All of the exercises that we're going to be doing today are very simple and can be done throughout your day and whether you're at home or at the workplace as well. So increasing your flexibility is going to help release the chance of having an injury and increase the comfort that you feel without your daily lives. All right. So what we're going to be doing is with our stretches, we want to hold them for 30 seconds each, and I want you to perform these exercises about 4 to 5 times a week as well. Okay. What we want to focus on while we're stretching here is I want you to move into the stretch nice and smooth. Don't bounce and just continually breathe as we get into the stretch. All right. So the first one we're going to be working on is for the back side of our legs. Okay. So what I want you to do is go ahead and put your feet together and extend your legs. With both hands, reach down towards your toes and exhaling and breathing the whole time. Hold that stretch. What you'd want to do is hold it for 30 seconds while at the bottom. You want to go until you feel mild discomfort in the back side of the leg here. Good. Another variation that you can have, you can either do this while watching TV or just sitting at home or at the office. You can sit down on a couch or a chair, and with using either a towel or a belt, you can put it around your toes, extending your leg and bringing that toe back towards you. Once again, you want to go until there's mild discomfort behind the leg and hold that for 30 seconds at a time. You'd want to do both legs on this one as well. The next stretch we're going to be doing is going to be working the front part of our leg. Okay. You may want to stand next to a wall or a chair so you can keep your balance. So once you found your balance, go ahead and grab on the edge of that couch. What I want you to do is bring your ankle up behind your leg. So you're going to be bringing your ankle all the way up behind. Good. And I want you to keep those knees together the whole entire time. So standing nice and tall, he's stretching the front portion of his leg. Okay. And he's going to want to hold this for 30 seconds while continually breathing. He's want to perform it to both legs as well. There's another exercise that if he needs to, he can use a belt or a towel to put around his ankle so that he can get a deeper stretch as well. Good. All right, so the next exercise that we're going to be doing is going to be a lower leg and like the calf area, okay? So what I want is we're going to have a nice big wall here. And Carlos, go ahead and face that wall for me and put both hands up against the wall. Good. So go ahead and stagger those legs, one leg in front of the other. Perfect. And what I want you to do is just lean into that wall, keeping that back foot flat on the ground and really stretching out this lower portion of the leg. Good. Continually leaning into it. Exactly. And holding there for 30 seconds. We'll come off and then switch those legs for me. Good. So the other one goes back and forward, keeping that heel on the ground the whole time. That's very important. And slowly leaning in. Good. Awesome job there, Carlos. Now we're going to be stretching out the back side of your body, okay? So we've gotten a lot of the legs already. Now let's stretch out the upper back side. So what I want you to do is bring both of your hands out in front of you and link them together. Good. Now from here, I want you to drop your chin between your arms and slowly round out that back, really forcing those shoulders forward. What this is gonna do, it's gonna really help stretch out the back side of your area right here. Okay, good. So after holding it for 30 seconds, I'd want you to come up, nice and slow, restructure yourself, and then slowly go back into it. Arms out, shoulders, and really stretching forward. Perfect. Good job, Carlos. We're finally going to finish out our stretches with stretching out the upper body with the shoulders and the chest area. So for this exercise, you'll need either a corner of a wall or you can use a door frame as well. So what I want you to do, go ahead and put your hand up at a 90-degree angle. Good, so nice 90-degree angle right there. And what I want you to do is slowly push into the wall, bringing your chest forward, but keeping that arm backwards. It's going to stretch all throughout the shoulder area and right into the chest as well. Hold it until you're at mild discomfort, and for 30 seconds while breathing, just hold that posture. Very good. And go ahead and switch it around for me. So same thing, he'd put his hand up on the wall, have a nice posture, and going forward till mild discomfort. Very good. And once again, this can also be done in a doorway where you have both arms up, leaning forward. It's a great stretch for the shoulder and chest area. So I want to give you guys a challenge. I want you to perform all 5 of these stretches throughout the week. To start off, it's great to get it done at least once a week, but stretching is one of those things in life, the more that you do it, the better it is. I know that life can get hectic, so be sure to set an alarm on your phone or in your house, and whenever it goes off, just make sure you get up and stretch. So as a recap, we're going to go through those 5 stretches one more time. So first, we have the hamstring stretch for the back of our legs. So keeping your feet together, going down with both hands, and holding. Make sure we're not bouncing with this exercise. Good. Next, we're going to go into stretching the front of our leg. Okay, so what it's going to be, you're going to be bringing that foot up behind you while holding onto a wall or chair and really pulling that ankle up towards your butt as best you can. Good. And go ahead and put it down. The next stretch, we're going to face the wall, placing our hands on the wall and staggering those feet out, keeping that heel on the ground and really leaning into that stretch to stretch the lower portion of your leg. Awesome job there, Carlos. The last 2 stretches, we're going to do the back stretch. So those hands are going to be out in front of you. Good. Dropping that head in between and rounding those shoulders out, really stretching out that backside there. Awesome. And then finally, we would use the corner of something, or you can use a friend if you need anything. Coming up, make sure you're at a 90-degree angle and really leaning into that stretch to stretch the shoulder and the chest area. Perform that at least once a week, but the more is better, and I hope that you guys can accomplish something. So the next area of fitness that we're going to be working on is our balance. We use balance all throughout the day, whether you're just standing right here, you need to make sure that you have good balance. Whether you're walking down the street and you want to make sure that you're not falling over, or if you're picking something up off the floor, you need to make sure that you have good balance so you're not going to be falling over, okay? So we're going to put you through various exercises that's going to work on different components of your balance so that you can improve your daily activities and really have a better life, okay? So the first exercise I want you to do is go ahead and cross your arms across your chest for me. Good. Now what I want you to do, on one foot, just try and hold it for as long as you can. Good, you seem to have pretty good balance there, Carlos. So if you can do that exercise for 45 seconds straight, I want you to do that same thing on the other foot, but try and close your eyes now. Closing his eyes is going to make it a little bit more difficult, and is really going to have to focus on having good balance. See, I made it a little bit harder there. So good. Now you want to make sure that there's nothing around you that you could possibly trip on while you're performing these exercises, but just in a nice environment. That's why we're in the kitchen. Nice wide open area. You can even hold onto the counter. If you really are starting to improve your balance, just hold onto that counter and really starting to take your independence off of it and eventually work on it yourself. Good. All right. So the next exercise that we have is going to be a little bit more difficult than what we just tried. So make sure that you're next to a counter or even a chair or table in your house for a little bit of balance as well. What I want you to do is with your hands on your waist, and once again, if you need to, grab that countertop for some support. You're going to reach your right leg out as far as you can, tap it, and bring it back. Good. See, you're really focusing on the balance of that other foot. Good. Nice balance there, Carlos. So I'd want you to perform this 8 to 10 times on your one leg, and then switch it to your other side as well. You may notice a little bit of imbalance between your legs. One may be better than the other. If you do, just like Carlos did there, grab that counter for a little bit of support and then really try and challenge yourself and get out there and tap and bring it back. Good. Awesome job, Carlos. All right, our final exercise is going to be a build off of what we just did with that last exercise and make it a little bit more difficult. So once again, make sure you have some support if you need it, but otherwise put your hands on your hips. Good. So what you're going to do is you're going to reach forward with that foot, tap, and instead of coming back to where you started, you're actually going to go all the way back without dropping that foot. Good, and then come all the way back through. Notice his foot is staying up the whole entire time, really working on that balance of the opposite foot. Perfect. Let's go ahead and switch it up. Good, so notice the foot does not touch down in the middle. He just touches, keeps it up all the way to the back, and then straight through. Good, work on that balance. Grab your support if you need. And get right back into it. Doing each leg 8 to 10 times. Perfect. All right, so just to recap those 3 exercises. We had the first exercise where you're going to be on one leg, arms across your chest. Good, lifting one leg off the ground and holding it. You're going to try and hold it for 45 seconds at a time, but if that's too easy, go ahead and close those eyes. It's really going to make it a little bit more difficult and challenge you to improve your balance. Oh, there you go. All right, our next exercise, next to a counter, table, or chair, you're going to be holding on for support or putting your hands around your waist, reaching out and touching the floor with one toe, bringing it back to that starting position. Now this is where it's coming back to that middle position and going straight back out. Good. To make it a little bit more difficult, our third exercise is going to be coming all the way out to the front and without tapping at the middle, going all the way back with that foot as well. Good. Continually touching forward and backward, performing all these exercises on both your legs. Now you have these exercises, you can perform them anywhere in the house. As you see, we're here in the kitchen, you could be over in the living room watching TV, or even just while you're waiting on a bus or anything like that as well. Perform these more and more throughout the day and you'll definitely see an increased balance. All right, so now we've done all of our exercises. We've done some cardio, some strength training, some flexibility and balance. We're gonna put it all together and show you just how quick a little routine can be so you can fit it into your everyday, all right? So let's go ahead and start out with some squats. So keeping those legs shoulder width apart, and go ahead and give me 5 squats here. Now we're doing it without a chair or a couch around him, but make sure, add it in if you need a little bit more support. So 2 more. Good, final one here. Perfect, so now we're gonna go straight into the jumping jacks, okay? Give me 10 jumping jacks. So he's doing a great job moving through here very quickly, getting that heart rate up and elevated, doing an awesome job. This is a great place to start out at right now. Good, Carlos. All right, so now we're gonna go into some flexibility. So we're gonna do the toe touch, so both legs are together, reaching down. He's gonna go until he feels mild discomfort in the back of his leg. Good. So hold that until you feel a little bit of stretch, and then you can come up. And he would go into it again to get a little bit deeper stretch as well. So nice and low. See how he's getting even further down into that stretch and holding it. Awesome job. And now let's incorporate some balance. So go ahead and lift up one of your legs. And there you go. So right now he's working on his balance, and that's totally fine. If you want to challenge himself, remember, we can always go ahead and close those eyes and really make it a lot more difficult to keep your balance. But the more you do it, the better you're going to get as well. Good. Take a rest there. So I want you to remember, these are just some guidelines of some exercise that you guys can incorporate. If you know anything that you already do, feel free to put that in as well. Exercise is one of those things that the more you do, the better it is for you as well. So you can see we did a quick little routine here. You could easily put that in your daily activities 3 or 4 times, and also throughout the week, multiple times. And as I said, the more you do it, the better benefits you guys are going to have. So be sure to incorporate it and get healthier.